Well, the Congress of South African Trade Unions, that's Cosatu, it wants the PIC to come to the rescue of struggling fashion retailer, that's Edcon, again. Now, the company failed to pay suppliers partly due to a reduction of cash flow as a result of a 21-day lockdown. But Cosatu says the PIC can rescue Edcon by asking shopping malls to give the company a rental holiday. The corporation is a shareholder in several companies that own shopping malls. Let's discuss this now with Cosatu's Lebogang Mulaisi. She joins us via Skype. Lebogang, a very good morning to you. So yet another rescue you are proposing from the PIC to Edcon in not so many years. Why should the PIC do this again? Will it not be seen as reckless investment?
Hi, Toli, and thank you for having me on the show. I must clarify, Toli, that this proposal that we're making, it's located in a broader principle that Cosatu has been advancing, and that's that all landlords and all tenants must come to an agreement during this lockdown period to ensure that tenants get the requisite relief in order to be able to remain afloat during this 21-day period. The principle applies in this regard because, like you rightfully mentioned, Edcon is the tenant and the PIC, because of their shareholding in the malls, is the landlord, so the principle would apply in that regard.
Yeah. The other argument here, Lebogang, is that the PIC is trying to restore its own battered image. You are now again asking for it to bail out this struggling company when the balance sheet of Edcon clearly states that the company is very, very weak, hence it cannot even pay suppliers. Again, I ask the question, why should the PIC put itself in this pickle?
I also need to clarify something again. So we're not actually asking for the PIC to bail out anyone or to put an investment of any regard. What we're asking for is a holiday on the rental that the Edcon should be paying. This should not be seen as an investment or a bailout of any kind. It's really just to give the relief that a retailer, a tenant in this regard, would need in order to remain afloat during this time.
Will interest accrue, therefore, on this payment holiday?
Interest would definitely have to accrue. At the end of the day, the landlord in this regard, the PIC, will have to recoup all monies with regard to this rental holiday.
If the rental holiday doesn't turn around the situation, in fact, perhaps the question preceding that is, why do you think the payment holiday will help this company stay afloat?
So if you look at the rental holiday, you can't look at it all by itself. You need to look at it in conjunction with the other relief mechanisms that government is offering to businesses. So if you look at the rental holiday in conjunction with other relief mechanisms, so this is through the employment tax incentives that is being given to employers during this 21-day shutdown. If you look at it in conjunction with the temporary employer and employee relief schemes, as well as the decreased UIF contributions, if you look at that in the whole basket of relief mechanisms, we could see Edcon surviving this 21-day shutdown.
Yeah. Final question to you, Lebogang. The understanding is that Edcon is currently 800 million rand in the red. So will that rental have amounted to that amount of 800 million, which then would presumably offset this 800 million, or is the rental money much less than that?
So like I said in the previous question, the rental has to be looked at in conjunction with the other relief mechanisms that is being afforded to businesses during this time. So we'd have to do a bit of an analysis and a bit of a balance sheet on how much is accrued with regards to all the mechanisms that are being afforded to businesses to remain afloat during this time. It could see us making a significant dent in the amount of money that Edcon would need to remain alive during the 21-day shutdown.
Very briefly, Lebogang, we're out of time. Are you not postponing the inevitable here?
Well, it could be seen as postponing the inevitable, but as a trade union, we have a very difficult task of looking at the inevitable and also looking at how to balance jobs. So our main priority is how do we retain jobs during this 21-day shutdown.
Lebogang Mulaisi speaks for Trade Union Federation, Cosatu.